Alright, hello everyone, welcome to the 16th round, the final round of Division 2 Season 10. We are here in Suzuka for the Japanese Grand Prix. Yeah, as I said, for the final round of Season 10 here in Division 2. Unfortunately, there's nothing to fight for in terms of the championship anymore. Menace Man has won the Drivers' Championship after the USA Grand Prix. And on top of that, there was still a fight between Williams and Red Bull in the Constructors' Championship, but sadly Williams only have one driver for today, only Sean Moole is racing, and they are 32 points behind. Obviously one driver cannot score 32 points, so Red Bull have also now won the Constructors' Championship. Rather anticlimactic way to win, you could argue. Have I messed up the weather settings? Been being told it's Oh, yeah, sorry, that's my bad. Yeah, I put it to perfect instead of approximate. I am quickly gonna check if the rest is correct, because if the rest isn't correct, I mean that isn't a big thing. But if anything else is incorrect, we might have to do a restart. I'm just gonna quickly check. This all looks good. The rest of the settings are fine. So we have yeah, we've got no problem. It's just that one setting. Just the weather forecast. Right, sorted. Yeah, now we can focus on the qualifying. As I said, nothing to fight for in terms of the Drivers or Constructors World Championship tonight. We are just here to end the season on a high, hopefully have one more exciting race. Suzuka is a track that does tend to produce some very surprisingly exciting league races. I would argue in real Formula 1 it's not that. It's a great track to watch for a hot lap, or to drive on as well. It's a very fun track to drive on, both on the game and according to, for example, Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel, who are big fans of this track right here. A great track in real life as well. For some reason my broadcast camera isn't really working, I don't know why. Well, yeah, and I think, well, it's not as popular in the game. I think a lot of people, especially controller drivers, struggle a lot with the S section, which is fair enough. I think if you're on a controller or, God forbid, a keyboard, the S section is going to be a big ask to go through cleanly. We've got a new driver joining us tonight. This is Kevin CL, Kevin Cal, or Kevin CL. Jesus Christ. Why is that not? That's not difficult. Why am I struggling? Kevin CAL. There we go. I'm just gonna stick to Kevin. He is in new rows, joined us for the final round of the season here. So we're gonna see how he gets on. He of course goes purple 61. He's the first one on the lap, so we can immediately see what he has to offer. Nice entry into the hairpin there. Gets the car rotated very nicely. Got yellow flags in the final sector, but I think that's just people going slowly starting the lap. No problem at all there. Unfortunately, a pretty small grid for tonight, only 11 drivers. It's a bit disappointing, but I'm sure we can still have a good race between those 11. We've got plenty of drivers who I think could challenge the front. The likes of course, Menace Man already proven himself plenty of times this season. Has won 4 races, is the world champion already, and he'll be challenged by the likes of B.S. Gabri, by Sean Moole, who have been in the title for him. Sink as well. He's been very strong on occasion. He joined mid-season, I think, and he won the race in China as well. And now we have Kevin over the line, 1:30.504. That's the first lap time set in this session. That's the first the first comparison to go for. Sink, I believe, is the next one over the line. The only car ahead of him is the Red Bull of Menace Man, who is currently on an outlap. So yeah, Sink, the second driver in this session, who will complete a lap. The Alfa Murderer also without a teammate today. I think actually, well, the only team that has 2 drivers for tonight is Alpine. No, Mercedes as well. Okay, never mind. With Alpine actually having 2 reserves, both Sully and Kevin being reserves here in Division 2. That's Kevin. That's Kevin? Oh, Sink, sorry. I'm throwing names around already. We're only 5 minutes into the stream and I'm already making mistakes. Sink now over the line 1:30.076. About half a second faster than Kevin. We've got Tyler going over the line here. Mercedes driver, let's see if... oh, he's starting a lap, I think. No, 36.7. I guess he had a mistake somewhere in that lap. Marcelio 31.0, Bayes Gabi 30.1. A bit less than the 10th behind Sink at the front there. We've got Sully about to finish the lap. Oh, about to start one. He's got 100% ERS, so probably about to start one. Thog, though, he is currently... Oh, never mind, Thog, just as I go on board with him. He spins it on the exit of the spoon curve. Oh, and he spins again! Does he keep it off the wall? No, he doesn't, but thankfully he gets away without damage. Resets onto the track. Hopefully he can get out of Menace Man's way. Which, okay, yeah, Menace Man wasn't affected by that at all. All fine. Happened on the straight, and I think the ideal racing line is on the inside there anyway. 13.3 in the middle sector for Menace Man. He's already champion, but surely he'll want to finish the season on a high and get one more race when he and Suzuka. He has nothing to lose anymore. Both championships are decided in his favor. And as he goes over the line, DRS open, it will be a 1:29.970, the fast lap in this session for now. Yeah, it's slightly faster than Sink in P2. We've got Sean Moore going to the Degner curves here, driving for Williams. He'll be a bit annoyed maybe at his teammate that he's cost him the chance at this Constructor Championship by not attending today. But he's also probably gonna hope for a good finish this season. It would have been an outside shot anyway. 32 points behind would need a minor miracle, I would argue. You need a very good result from both your drivers, and then also Menace Man would have to have a bit of a stinker, really, to make up that many points in one race. We'll see if Sean Moore can challenge Menace Man. And yeah, pretty much as I predicted, the front three right now, Menace Man, Sink, and BS Gabri. And I think Sean Moore is surely on his way to join in 14.1. I think that's 2/10 slower than what we saw from Menace Man. So, it's not far off. Might be on for a P3, a P4 here. We'll see in just a moment as he goes through the final corner now. DS open will be open any moment. DS open now. Over the line, 31.1. Okay, so Sean Moore was a lot slower than I expected him to be. He's down in P8. Anybody currently on a push lap? Tyler is 8 seconds down, so no. And Menace Man is 2 seconds down. Okay, so no, nobody on a push lap. Sully is on an out lap, Kevin on an out lap, Thog on an out lap as well. So we've got a few cars out on track at the moment. I was being told, I believe, the weather forecast was all dry, so we'll have a clean final race here. No rain to throw drivers off and I don't know, cause them to make any mistakes. No flags to do that, just Tyler letting Sully. Yeah, Sully by, okay. So yeah, we'll stay on with Sully here, who will be the next one to start a lap. Currently hasn't set a lap time, he's down in P11 therefore. Wouldn't want to get himself off the back row for sure. I'm not actually sure, I never know what to expect from Sully here in Division 2. He's normally a Division 1 driver, but for Division 2, that's the only reason he's allowed to race. He turns off all of his assists. Normally he races with ABS and Racing Line, but for Division 2, he turns them off. He's working on learning that at the moment. And he's a lot slower, obviously. It's very difficult to learn. But it's very track dependent, how much slower he is. So I don't really know what to expect from him. But I guess we'll see by the end of this lap, see where he is in comparison to the rest of the grid. I mean, he definitely has the potential to be a front runner. I mean, well, he has the potential to win by miles if he turns on his Thog now on the final corner. Has crashed out. I'm not sure where he's crashed out. Well, I know where he's crashed out, but into what wall? Either the pit wall on the wall on the left. We can go on board with BS Gabri. Hopefully Thog doesn't despawn before we see him. I would like to know what happened to him. And Thog is on... Oh yeah, he's in the pit wall. So he must have spun coming out of the final corner and out of the chicane. Just lost control. Or going through the final, this little right-hand kink. It's very difficult to get the power down just right. It's a part of the track you can gain a lot of time by being confident. But if you're overconfident, it can end your session right there. And that's what just happened to Thog, I think. Maybe just a bit too eager on the throttle, spun out and into the pit wall. 13.80 run, purple in sector 2 by Sully. Could he be on for a pole position here? That would be amazing for Sully. Certain was I was expecting from him over the line 30.649. Okay, so in the end he's 7/10 down, but he was purple in sector 2 at least. P6, currently P5 and 6, third row Lockhart 42 Alpines. Now plenty of drivers on laps. Sink about to start one. Pierre Gasly is halfway through on here. He is, what did I say, up or down by 74 thousandths. I didn't see whether it was a plus or a minus. We'll see in just a moment as he is now approaching the final sector of this lap. We'll see if he's up or down this time. Needs to gain a bit less than 2/10. He's purple, but he's also down by 13 thousandths. Interesting. Can he beat Singh? Can he beat Menaceman? Can he even beat his own lap here? He needs to gain a little bit in the final sector here. Out of the chicane and over the line. What will it be for Pierre Gasly? 1:30.111. It's an improvement, but not enough to gain a position. He stays in P3. We've got Wasted coming up the line, starting a lap. We've got Marcelio just about to enter 130R. Is he up in the middle sector? No, okay, he's not in the fast lap, 14 seconds down. Claudio, though, is still in the fast lap, it seems like it. Currently 31.1 in P8, now it's a 30.5 into P8. P6, sorry. It's at P8 in the top right, I don't know what that was about. He splits the two Alpines. We've got Sink up by about a 10th there, so he might be challenging Menaceman here. He needs to gain just about more than a 10th to beat the Red Bull driver here. Can he find a little bit more in the middle and finance? Yes, he can! Now he's up by 1.5 tenths. Sink could be on for provisional pole position here. Just one more corner to go now. The Casio triangle. Gets the car turned in nicely for the second part as well. And now through the final corner, DRS open and over the line. Sink 29.871. And he now has a 99,000 gap to Menaceman. And Sink now retires in the session, what? Seconds after putting in the fast lap, Sink has crashed out! What has just happened to him? Can go on with Tyler maybe? See if we can catch him? He's crashed at turn 1 on an XD spawn. Sink from provisional pole. I mean, he is still in provisional pole. If nobody beats his time, he can still start on pole. But I mean, we have 5 minutes to go. Everybody still has one more lap. Wasted there with a big improvement. A bit of an upset there, up into P3, beating Pierre Gasly. 30.085. Wasted. Seems to have some great pace here around Japan. I am also currently keeping one eye out on the F1 Esports Challenges PlayStations going on, so I might be a bit distracted at times. They just finished Q1. Okay, yes, that's what I was looking out for. Erpek, one of the drivers who's in LLR, has qualified for this, and I would like to support him by watching, just see how he's doing. And he's doing well. He finished P5 in Q1. You'd love to see it. So yeah, I'm gonna be watching both this race. I'm gonna put most of my focus on this race, but I do want to see how my my teammate is doing. Oh, I just realized I didn't actually post a link to the stream. I should have done it at some point. I'm gonna go do that now. Just posted a link to the stream. Okay, done. And okay, so anybody to watch on hot lap? Doesn't seem. I think most people are now either on slow laps or in the pit lane. Marcelio, I mean, he has a lot of ERS, so probably not a fast lap. Yeah, I think now people are just setting up for the final runs. One more run to go now, so final chance for all of these drivers to potentially beat Sink to pole position here. No flags in sector 2 and 3, that's for Kevin apparently, who is not even going slowly, so I'm not sure why. But the first few cars are on track. Pierre Gasly. Marcelio starting a hot lap already, so Marcelio very early with the final run here. Taking a lot of curbs for the S's. A bit of understeer there on the second to last corner of the S's. We'll see in a moment. Has he gained in the first sector? 31.0 at the moment. He is down by by about half a tenth. Up by half a tenth, sorry. Looking to secure himself in P8. Maybe go after the guys from P5 to P7. Kevin, Claudio and Sully. As he goes a bit deep into the hairpin. Probably lost him some time, maybe a tenth or two. The Aston Martin driver though will want to come back from that. This will be his final run, I'm pretty sure. He won't have enough time to go for one more after this. As he goes wide, but the game allows it actually, somehow, through the spoon curve. That definitely should have been a invalidation, but well, if the game allows it, you can get away with it. We're not going to start enforcing track limits ourselves, that would be a monumentous task to do. 64,000's down actually, so he's lost a lot of time to happen there, I think. We'll see if he can gain it back in the final sector, but surely he's not going to gain massive amounts of time now after... I mean, it's only one corner in the final sector, he won't be gaining multiple tenths through there, and indeed he isn't. 31.2, Marcelio stays at a 31.041. BS Gabi now starting it up. Kevin, I think, is about to finish one actually. 93,000's up. Could secure himself in P5. I think he's too far behind BS Gabi to really attack him. But a P5 on his debut would be a very solid performance. He takes a lot of curb there through the final two corners in the Casio Triangle. Very aggressive on those curbs. 30.428 for the Alpine driver. So he improves in time, and it might gain in position by the end, even though it doesn't right now. BS Gabi now in the first sector. He's going to be hoping to beat Wasted, Menace Man, to beat Singh. Kevin Cal now retiring out on track at turn 1. Not sure if he's crashed or if he retired straight after a lap, which he isn't supposed to do. BS Gabi up by close to 3 tenths in the first sector. Big improvement from BS Gabi here. What about Menace Man? He's out the starting lap. Wasted still in the pits actually. So we might not be seeing Wasted out of the track again. And Sully, oh, Sully's lost it just as they go on board with him on the exit of the S-curves. Sean Moore now starting up as well. So BS Gabi, Sean Moore, Menace Man. Those are the ones to look out for, I think. Claudio, is he still on a lap? Yes, he is. He's about to start one, okay. I don't know how much time we have left to go because there's constant yellow flags, so I can't see the time. I don't know if Wasted can still do a lap in this session. But BS Gabi, let's see, is he still up after sector 2? Yes, he is. Close to 3 tenths. Big improvement from BS Gabi. This will be a provisional pole position, I think. But will it hold? Will it be enough to beat Menace Man in the end? He will certainly beat Singh, because that was a good final corner as well. And now DS Open over the line, 29.810 for BS Gabi. And Menace Man is in the gravel! Menace Man is in the gravel. That means BS Gabi more than likely has just secured himself pole position. Sean Moore is also going slowly. Tyler starting a lap now. Claudio is the only one who can challenge BS Gabi. He's down by 10th in the first sector. This might be it. This might be qualifying over as Claudio now makes a big mistake. That's his lap done as well. So Tyler, the only one now on the lap actually. Just forgot about him for some reason. Tyler currently in P10, 31.4. Safe to say, not a threat to BS Gabi. But we'll still watch his lap anyway. See if he can improve position. Go after Sean Moore, Marcelio maybe. We'll see how much time he's gaining after sector 1 and 2. But everybody else is done. Nobody here will be improving anymore. And BS Gabi, on the final race of the season, maybe a statement for next season that he's going after Menace Man. He wants to fight back for the title. Of course, we don't know if either of them want to be in Division 2 still next season. I think if they would like to be in Division 1, they definitely will be. The same goes for anyone else really who's won race this season. There's plenty of drivers here in Division 2 who could certainly keep up in Division 1. So yeah, I've offered all of them promotions, but at the moment none of them have really taken it. They seem to enjoy this this big group at the front of if they all attend the race, of course, like 5, 6 or even more in some races, group of drivers who can try for the race win. Big improvement from Tyler actually, 6 tenths up, so he's looking at beating Sean Moore and Marcelio, starting P8. If he gains a bit more in the final sector, maybe he can even go after Sully. Over the line, 30.748, not quite enough for Sully, about a tenth. But he does beat Marcelio and Sean Moore, big improvement from Tyler at the final run. And that's it! Qualifying officially over. BS Gabi takes pole ahead of Singh, Menace Man, Wasted, Kevin, Claudio, Sully, Tyler, Marcelio, Sean Moore in P10, and Thok having crashed out without having set a lap down in P11. That front four is very close together. Wasted, not the one I expected to be there before the race, but he's got some great pace around Suzuka apparently. Might be one to look out for in the race for a surprise winner, but especially BS Gabi and Sink were very close together. And then we'll have Menaceman and Wasteland right behind him as well, surely wanting to go after the race win, wanting to fight for that podium. Any one of those four, I think, has a great chance of winning this race. And, yeah, could be on for a very exciting race here in Suzuka. Interesting that Sean Moole is so far on the field. He's not in P10. We usually see him much further up the field, but he struggled a lot in this quali session. Let's see if he can fight back in the race. But a very small field split as well. 1.3 seconds separating the entire grid. That is a very, very small field spread. We're used to seeing a lot bigger than that. And now we're going to be loading into the grid for the final race start of Division 2 here in Season 10. And then we are going to have a short break. And in 2 weeks, we're going to be starting the 2020 mini-season, which unfortunately will not be commentated. Unless we can find someone to do it, of course, since I'm not going to be doing it. I'm going to be racing myself. Yeah, we'll have a short season on F1 2020, which we'll be using to bridge the gap effectively between F1 2022 and 2023, which will come out in around June. Like, there's not enough time to do another proper season on F1 22, but we are gonna do a shorter season on F1 2020 just for fun, and because a lot of people are interested in going back to that game. So, if anyone who's watching the stream is interested, you can join our Discord. Should be a link on the channel somewhere, hopefully. If not, I'm gonna actually check that after the race, see if we have a link on our channel somewhere, and if not, I'm gonna post it on the channel description. But there we go, we've got the 5 red lights on now, we're ready for the race start. And let's see who will come out ahead into turn 1. It's lights out and away we go, and that looks like a very good start from Sink, who's immediately alongside BS Gabi. Can he take the lead in turn 1? He got the inside well, of course. But BS Gabi pulls ahead of Sink and keeps the lead. Menaceman on the hard tire there, immediately being attacked by Wasted. But he hangs on around the outside actually. Great job by that Menaceman defender on the worst tire. We've got Sean Moore on the soft one to make up positions early. Tyler going a bit wide there, and Sean Moore immediately on his outside tries to hang it around the outside. What a move by Sean Moore! Oh, never mind! They make contact, I jinxed it. They're both off in the grass, but thankfully they rejoin without having lost too much time. They're still in the pack. Oh, now Tyler and Claudio are both in the wall at the same time. And Thok as well. He's out after just the first sector. What happened to Thok there? We've got 3 cars, I think, spinning independently of each other. Tyler going around him there. We've got a full core safety car on lap 1 already. Makes sense, yeah. Three spins in the first sector. 1 DNF. Probably some more wing damage maybe for other people who might have got caught up in that. Makes sense to see an early safety car. This will now be interesting to see if anybody could pit for hard tires and try to go to the end. Menaceman did exactly that in last season in Japan and won the race that way. He can't do it now, but anybody else can. And Menaceman won in what was back then Division 1, racing against the likes of Kart Racer, who are now, I would argue, probably a second lap faster than all of these guys. So if you could pull it off with that much of a pace disadvantage, it could really work in a much slower grid. Is anybody gonna go for it? Doesn't seem like it. I don't think anybody thinks it's a good idea. Sean Moore might. Claudio in the pits as well. Okay, so some people are going for it. I mean, we'll see what tires they go into, of course. If they go to hards, I think they're gonna try and go to the end. It can work. It's a very long stint. Oh, okay, Sean Moore has wing damage, but he's on the hard tire. Tyler staying out. Claudio and Sean Moore both with the wing change, but they are going to hard compound tires. And if there's no more safety cars in this race, I would argue that this is the best strategy to go for. To go for the hard tire now, and then just go to the end. 26 laps, it's a stretch, but it's possible. And the time you gain from not having to make a pit stop under green flags is immense here around Japan. Even though, of course, with the S section, where you can gain a lot of time on fresh tires, you also gain, as I said, a lot of time on those fresh tires. But it's also very hard to overtake. So if you make a pit stop, you can get stuck in traffic. And these guys, I mean, they're gonna be slower than the cars ahead for now, I think, as they are on worse tires. And then once they pit, they're all gonna be behind them, so they will not be in traffic at any point in this race, if the strategy goes well. Of course, if there's any more safety cars, everything I've just said goes out the window, and it's all down to whatever timing of the safety car is now, relevant, or what your gap the cars behind it. So many factors come into that decision when you, whether to pit or not, if you are under safety car. But yeah, we're gonna have a very neutralized race for a few laps here, and then we'll be underway again with BSKB once again having to defend from Sync. We didn't see many position changes, I don't think. We, of course, back in the field with those spins. Yeah, just Sully up 1, Marcelio up 2, Sean Moore up 1, and Claudio down 4. Everybody else staying exactly where they were. Japan is a very, very difficult track to overtake yet. It's not very wide, the straights aren't all that long. The longest straight is the one we're on right now, leading into 130R, and then into the Casio Triangle, but the track is very narrow, and especially from the Casio Triangle going side by side is, not Casio Triangle, into the 130R, going side by side is very tricky. And then of course, if you're not side by side into 130R, it's a very short run down to the Casio Triangle where you can pull alongside to go for the move. The best overtaking opportunity, I would say, is probably the main straight, down to turn 1. But if you're side by side into turn 1, it's very dangerous. It's so easy to make that little bit of contact and get sent into a spin. So yeah, even the main overtaking opportunity is a big risk around this track. And that is ironically what I think produces such great racing around Japan at some points, because you have to be brave and go for a brave overtake. But at the same time, what happens a lot in league racing, I think, is the faster driver just gets past in the first possible DRS zone and flies away. But this can't happen at Japan. You can't just easily get past someone, no matter how much faster you are. It's always, yeah, less than literally let you pass. It's never easy to overtake. Any overtake made at Japan is a challenge. Management, of course, is gonna help to keep position, keep Wasted behind him, hopefully stay close to Sync and BSKB. He's gonna have a tire advantage late in the race, once he pits onto the medium compound. The safety car, of course, I would argue is helping him a little bit. Less time for the medium runners to build a gap, and more time for him to stay close. Of course, their tires will also have gotten a bit more tire wear in relation to his over these few safety car laps, but it's a very, very minor difference, I think. Safety car running doesn't put a lot of strain on the tires. Maybe 1 or 2% per lap. Safety car should be coming in this lap, I think. Everybody is called up to the field, so Instant has been cleared as well, so no reason to keep out the safety car any longer. BSKB will lead the field onto the restart here. He's going to set the pace on the final sector and decide when to go, when the race will get restarted. And there we go, safety car's been called in, and BSKB is slowing the field down. Let's see when he decides to go. Can he catch out Sync? Can he build a gap before turn 1? Can Sync attack him to team 1? As they go with the Casio Triangle, BSKB waiting for his opportunity. Sync right behind him, just looking for any sort of indication when BSKB could go. And now he's going, and Sync, I think, has caught him perfectly. But can he get close enough to go for a move into Team 1? Is he close enough to the McLaren driver? Doesn't seem like it. I think BSKB is just about far enough ahead. Mannesman sitting solidly in P3 as well. Sync having a little look up the inside, but he's too far away from him. Wasted, not at the best of restarts, couldn't attack Mannesman. So we'll have to find a way around him at some other point in the track. Maybe down into the Casio Triangle by the end of this lap. He'll have a tire advantage, so he should be faster than Mannesman at the moment. Yellow flags once again, and this time, oh, it's Sync! Sync has lost it through the S's, and he's down to last place. From P2 to P10, and he spins again as he tries to get the car turned around. And he has now lost so much time here. He's still turning the car around. Finally he's got it pointed in the right direction. He's gonna be, what, 20 seconds behind the next car now, so We have one tiny mistake from Sink has completely ruined this race as Tyler goes for the move on Sully into the hairpin. Sully now at the inside line on the exit. Can he stay up ahead of him as they head down towards the spoon curve? Yellow flags for Sink once again, so maybe some warm tires making him struggle, and now Sully hangs it around the outside, goes off track slightly. Might be ordered to give the position back to Tyler, I'm not sure. Tyler is gonna go for a move once again. Burning here is here down to 130R, having a look switching to the inside actually. And they are now side by side into 130R. Can they pull this one off? Respect being given, Sully being forced off track slightly. Sully still on the inside, but he has to brake earlier. And Tyler pulls ahead. Finally, after a very nice battle for half a lap there, Tyler secures P5 and Sully gets overtaken. He's now under pressure from Sean Moore behind as well. Sean Moore, of course, having already pitted once in this race, he could go to the end if he wants to. Can he go for a move on Sully? Doesn't seem like he can. Wasted though all over Menaceman here, who's already lost 2 seconds to Biascabi, so yeah, Biascabi now running away at the front. Exactly what he wanted. While Menaceman is holding these guys up behind him. Of course, on the hard tire is gonna have a tough time trying to keep up with Sully. Now Claudio spun through the S's, another one. That's already the 5th spin through the S's we've seen in just 5 laps. Make it 6. As Sink has now left the session as well. I'm not sure if it's a disconnect or a rage quit. I could see it being either one, to be honest. So a very tight group here between Menaceman, Wasted, Kevin, Tyler and Sully. Sean Moore as well. From P2 to P7. And a bit of a DRS train going on here. Although DRS I don't think it's even activated yet, so I guess just a slipstream train, you could call it. Although Sully is starting to drop out here. He's not able to keep up with Tyler. Sean Mulder not able to really close the gap all that much either. He's still 5 tenths behind, not exactly close enough to go for an attack on Sully. Of course, he is also on the hard tires, so he's going to be slower than those medium runners at the moment. It's Tyler, that was probably a warning from the finals corner there. Sully, I think, oh yeah, Sully is spun through the chicane. Not sure what happened to him. He's spun on the exit. Marcelio ordered to let him through apparently, as Wasted now goes for the move on Menaceman. We missed this one, so apologies about that one. And Wasted moves up into P2, can now start chasing after Biascabi. Menaceman on the hard tire has finally been passed by someone. And now Kevin is putting pressure on him as well. But of course, Menaceman is playing the long game. He'll get back at these guys later on, at least that's the strategy he's going for. That's what he's trying to do in this race. Oh, Tyler goes off! But just about catches the car. He's lost a bit of time, but he is able to keep going as Kevin is so close behind Menaceman. He had just 1/10 separating them into deck number 1. Of course, no opportunity to overtake there, so Kevin has to be patient. Find a better opportunity to go for the move on Menaceman. Has a look around the outside. And now yellow flags for Sully once again, now out of deck number 2 this time around. As Tyler spins it! On the exit of the hairpin. So many spins in this race, so many people struggling here at Japan. It's a very difficult track, of course. So it was somewhat expected that people would be having issues on traction. And now Kevin, is he close enough to Menaceman? Not really. Menaceman also has a lot more ERS, I think about 15-20% more than the Alpine driver. Yellow flags once again, another one. Marcelio this time in the spoon curve. Goes very fine to the grass here. He drops behind both Claudio and Sully. These 3 right here are now still the only ones really still anywhere close together. The rest of the little DRS train we had has been separated through all of those spins. We've now got Kevin, Menaceman and Wasted left in this fight. So those 3 are fighting over the podium now. Menaceman though is dropping away from Wasted, so yeah, Wasted able to use those mediums to his advantage. As Marcelio's in the pit lane, I assume he's picked up some front wing damage from his spin. Not sure, I didn't see him touch the ball, but I guess he did. Otherwise he wouldn't be pitting this early. I mean, I can check if he has a wing change. Actually, it doesn't. Goes onto softs. Interesting, very early pit stop for softs by Marcelio. And now we have another spin here, and it's Sean Wool, who is spun just on the bridge there, coming out of deck number 2. Hopefully for him he doesn't have wing damage, because if he does, that would ruin his strategy, I think. But it doesn't, it seems fine. I don't see any visual damage. So if he does have damage, it wouldn't be too bad. You will have to see that unfortunately Urpek got knocked out in Q2 of the F1 Esports Challengers. Unfortunate, but I guess that means for now I can focus on this race, nothing to watch in Challengers. I'm actually gonna try inviting Sink back in. Forgot to do that earlier. See if he's able to get back in the lobby. Oh, alright. Management has caught back up to Mason actually. Not sure if he did that by burning ERS or if Mason made a mistake. Or maybe Management has just picked up the pace now. We were 7 laps into the race. 8 laps actually. So the medium runners might be just starting to get a little bit of tire wear. Normally what you do around here is you go for 10 to 11 laps on the medium, maybe even 12. And then you switch to hards. This Management now is going very slowly through the S's. Kevin has to actually lift a little bit from the run to Degner to avoid making contact, so Management struggling a lot through those S's. Even more than I think the tire, yeah, definitely more than I think the tire difference should be. So interesting to see the difference there between Management and Wasted. As Wasted is now once again pulled outside the second, but Kevin as well. He was 1/10 behind going to Degner, now he's a second behind. So it seems like these drivers are end up being roughly equal over a lap, but they are very, very different in terms of the pace through the different sectors. So Marcelio's made a spin through, what's that, turn 2 I think? Kevin and Management both very low, well, all three of these guys very low on ERS. Meanwhile, BSGabi on 50% ERS, sitting alone in P1, and all of the three guys behind him around 15 to 20%. Tyler now with a penalty, the first one in this race. Multiple warnings received, so he's got 3-second penalties for track limits. But that currently will not cost him anything. He's got a 4-second gap behind to Sean Moole, so he will stay in P5 if the race were to finish as is. Let's see if Kevin has a go this lap around. If he can stay closer to Management through the Degner curves and the hairpin after that. I think he just needs a mistake-free lap and then he will be able to overtake him, because he does certainly seem to be the faster car at the moment. Although we are approaching the pit-stop window for medium runners. Just a few more laps I would say on those tires and then I'm gonna start dropping off. Claudia now with the penalty as well, multiple warnings. Second penalty in this race. Only 9 laps in at the moment, not even halfway through the race. And we've already seen a few penalties, and there we go, another one. Sully, as Marcelio's back in the pit lane. Not sure if he forgot to make a wing change, or if he... And it's earlier pit stop. Sully now, with no front wing, causes the virtual safety car. He's spun on the exit of Degner 2. And then it's brought out the VSC. And, well, cost Kevin a chance at going on the move on Management. Of course, this VSC will now help people recharge their ERS, as BSGabi I think is about to lap Marcelio. Yes, Marcelio is coming out the pits, a lap behind BSGabi and Wasted as well I think here. This Management has gone very slowly. Kevin is in the pits! Kevin taking advantage of the VSC to make his pit stop, although the VSC does go in about halfway through the pit lane for him. So he didn't get all that much time, but of course it makes sense to take advantage of the VSC. He's gonna come out in P7. In clean air and make use of that fresh hard tire, maybe an undercut on Management. We now have yellow flags for Marcelio, who... Where is he going? 10-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. Oh, okay, he's letting, I see, he's letting people pass by being off track. Okay, makes sense. He wants to stay out of people's way. Sully now with the penalty for speeding the pits. Ah, yeah, probably the missing front wing costing him some braking power. And, meaning he outbroke himself and just went into the pit a little bit too fast. And Marcelio now... What's that? That was certainly not the ideal racing line. Just cuts all across the grass and gets another 5-second penalty. How many seconds of penalties is he on now? He must be... Yeah, 15, okay. Did he spin? Did he have a spin that I just missed, or why did he cut across the grass like that? Yeah, at the moment, no tracks, no battles are on track. Menace Man and Kevin's battle was, of course, ended by Kevin's pit stop. Kevin hoping that the undercut works and he can get past Menace Man. Maybe you can have a look at Wasted. Tyler out the fast of the race, 33.440. As he's trying to chase after Menace Man in P3. Marcelio's once again back in the pit lane. Gabi extending his lead over Wasted by a few tenths a lap, I think. Marcelio now retiring in the pit, so we're down to 9 runners in this race. With 16 laps to go. Gabi, the gap only up to 3.3 seconds. Wasted only falling further and further back. Menace Man actually, I think, lost a lot of time under that VSC. He's now up to 5 seconds behind Wasted. Certainly too far back to challenge them, challenge Gabi, I think. Even with the tire advantage later on, he might be able to have a go at Wasted still. But he's not gonna gain the 8 seconds that he has now to Gabi. Yellow flags all over the track for some reason, not sure why. Okay, yeah, Marcelio's AI has left the pits. Okay, that's why. We'll see if anybody answers to Kevin's undercut. Gabi staying out, Wasted. Will he pit? No, okay. So, none of the front runners. Of course, Menace Man will not be pitting, there's no reason for him to pit. Maybe Tyler? No, also staying out. Okay, nobody wants to cover off Kevin's undercut. I mean, chances are, with the VSC as well, he's gained a few seconds by making the pit stop anyway. And he's now on fresh tires, he's only gonna gain more and more time. Kevin could come out, I would say, certainly ahead of Menace Man, and maybe even ahead of Wasted. But I think Gabi is just a bit too far ahead at the moment. His gap is massive in P1. 3.5 seconds to Wasted and 5.5 to Menace Man as well. I mean, what I can do is open the gap to leader. 31 seconds separating Gabi and Kevin at the moment. I think the pit delta around Japan is about 27 seconds, so Kevin is roughly equal to where Wasted is right now, I think. So that could be interesting. Kevin and Wasted could be close together after the pit stop. Of course, Wasted will then be on slightly fresher hard tires. We'll have a little bit less tire wear. So Kevin puts in a purple sector 1. Marcelio now leaving the session after his retirement. Slowly about to get past the AI of Sync. Reclaim 8th position in this race. But they are both roughly a minute, or close to a minute, behind Kevin. And Gabi is just going through the final corner while they're going to turn 1, so they're not far away from being lapped. As Gabi makes the pit stop, finally! Let's see, Wasted also coming in on the same lap. Menace Man is surely going to stay out for a few laps longer now. Will Tyler follow those two in, or will he stay out? Tyler following them in as well, so all 3 of them in on the same lap. Of course, all going onto hard tires. The question is, where's Kevin? That was Sean Moore coming out the final corner. Sean Moore now takes P2 in this race. But of course, he's on very old hard tires, 11 laps old, and he's not far ahead of Gabi. Meanwhile, Kevin going over the main straight here. He gets past Tyler, but he is nowhere near Wasted. I thought he would be a lot closer to Wasted, but apparently he didn't actually gain all that much by pitting under VSC. A gap still around 4.5 seconds, of course. Wasted now losing a lot of time to him on those cold tires. But once those tires are warmed up, the gap will stabilize. So yeah, Kevin coming out in what I believe will be P3 after Menace Man pits. Well, P4 actually, once Menace Man and Claudio pit. Sean Moore might not pit again in this race. He might try to go to the end and do his best to defend against Gabi. Might be an interesting fight by the end. And now we have a spin. Wasted on the exit of the hairpin. He is spun out. And that does move Kevin up into a provisional, well, P2 before the pit stop that was Wasted it was. So, and Wasted also has no front wing. So Wasted has just well, completely thrown away his race as he almost goes into his teammate there as well in the rejoin. After going off the track, Tyler going past him, wasted. He will be still in P7 I think after the pit stop, but he's going to be far behind the rest of the field. Management still staying out, Sean Moore of course still staying out. Claudio also still staying out, he made the same strategy as Sean Moore actually, so he might also stay out for the rest of this race. Sully now, with a spin through deck number 1 and 2. But his front wing seems to be intact, so no damage on the Alpine, he can keep going. Minus since lap sync. Sync is now a full lap down, wasted back in the pits of course for a front wing change. Here's Gabi closing in quickly on Sean Moore, of course, a massive tyre advantage for the McLaren driver. And surely a good chance that he can catch up to him in a few laps time. Taking a little off curb on the exit to the exit of deck number 1 on the entry into deck number 2. 3.8 seconds to gap and only getting closer and closer over the course of this race now. 13 laps to go, we're just past the halfway stage. And Wasted does indeed come out in P7, 30 seconds behind his teammate in P6. Big shame for Wasted. He was on for a podium position, I would say. And now he's far down the field. With, well, Lennart Zilchka, I would say P7 being the end for him. I don't see him catching anyone, he's too far behind. Yeah. Sean Moore about to lap sync as well, picking up some DRS to gain a little bit of time on BSW. Puts in the fastest race, 33.346. We're still waiting for the pit stop of Mannesman. He has to pit at some point, he hasn't pitted in this race yet. Sean Moore and Claudio are allowed to go to the end by the regulations of the race. So in terms of pit stop, post-pit stop positions, we're looking at Sean Moore P1, BSW P2, Claudio P3, Kevin P4 probably. And then after that I think Tyler is probably behind Mannesman? I'm not entirely sure if 27 seconds is close enough, I don't think it is. So yeah, I think Mannesman will come out between two Mercedes cars. Between Kevin and Tyler. So between P5 and P6. Of course the question is if Sean Moore and Claudio can even go to the end. It's a very, very long stint. It's possible, but they're going to struggle, I think, to make that happen. And here we have Mannesman once again for the final corner. Is this a lap? Will he finally make his pit stop? No, he's still staying out. One more lap for Mannesman on this hard compound tire. BS Gabi's brought the gap to Sean Moore down a little bit. 3 seconds now. Although, I mean, he's not gaining nearly as much as I thought he would. He should have a big advantage. I mean, 11 laps special tires for BS Gabi compared to Sean Moore. He should be gaining a lot more than he is. But he's really not closing in all that much. Kevin actually is closing in on Claudio a lot quicker than BS Gabi is catching Sean Moore. And his tire advantage is a lot less substantial. He's made a very early pit stop as well. He's got 6 lap old tires compared to BS Gabi's 3 lap old tires. So yeah, 3 laps less on BS Gabi's tires compared to Kevin. And still, Kevin seems to be gaining on Claudio faster than BS Gabi is gaining on Sean Moore. Wasted now puts in the fast little race, 32.870. Taking advantage of his medium compound, of course. Makes sense that he would be fastest car on track at the moment. Didn't really expect anything else from him. We might be seeing one of those guys in the bottom of the field, like Sully and Wasted. Maybe even Tyler, making a pit stop at the end, going for softs. Trying to get the fast lap here at the end, to just get that one bonus point. Mannesman now in lap 16, will he finally make his pit stop? Yes, he will. Mannesman, now we can finally see where he is in the end. Where he will come out. Should be medium compound tires, yes it is. You can see the yellow coloring on the tire. Sean Moore takes lead, BS Gabi will take P2, Claudio will be P3 for sure. Kevin should get past him as well. Question is... Oh, actually, could he be close to Kevin than I thought? I think Kevin will get past here just about. Yes, he will. But Tyler is too far behind him. Mannesman coming out on P5. But he is now on fresh mediums. Compared to old hards and everybody else. Well... not all at all, actually. BSKBs and even Kevin's I wouldn't describe as old. But certainly Claudio and Sean Moole will have a significant tire disadvantage compared to Mannesman. So I think he still has a realistic chance at a podium here. I think he can probably catch Kevin and Claudio. But then the 6-second gap to PS Gabi is probably too big to, well, 7 seconds actually closer to catch. 7 seconds between PS Gabi and Claudio, I mean by that. .6 seconds between PS Gabi and Sean Moole now, so PS Gabi slowly starting to get closer and closer to the Williams. But of course, I mean, he needs to pass him as well once he does catch up to him, so that would be a tough ask, I would say, for PS Gabi to get Sean Moole here by the end of the race. Of course, the question is, can Sean Moole hang on the tires? Well, how much pace will he lose once the tires start going off the cliff? And the same question goes to Claudio as well. Claudio, of course, with the penalty as well, as a much tougher task. He needs to also keep these guys outside the 3-second range at the moment. He isn't. Kevin is within 3 seconds and Mannesman is already close to it as well. And yeah, I think Claudio will probably end up in P5 in this race. With Sean Moole. I could still see him winning this race if he defends well. We only have 9 laps to go. PS Gabi doesn't have all that much time to pass him. It's the two main challengers for Mannesman this season that are now challenging each other. Mannesman, well, not in contention for this race at the moment. It's just Sean Moole and PS Gabi who are getting their opportunity now. Both of them have won one race this season, and they want to go for the second one. And they want to announce themselves as the main challenger to Mannesman next season. PS Gabi currently P2 in the standings and Sean Moole P3. So yeah, those two are the ones who have gotten closest to Mannesman in this season, who has been very, very impressive. But so have these two, and so have a lot of other drivers. There's been a lot of very impressive driving on show this season, as Kevin and Mannesman are now within DRS range of Claudio and Mannesman of Kevin, that is. Well, PS Gabi is still 1.5 seconds behind. Claudio now in the pits! Claudio has decided not to try and go to the end, instead opting to make a pit stop onto, what will it be, softs or mediums? I think it's soft, yes, soft tires for Claudio. He comes out in P6. And now we have yellow flags for Sully, who spun once again through Deck 2, but once again gets away without damage. So now we have Mannesman and Kevin having a straight fight over P3. And then we'll have PS Gabi and Sean Moole having a straight fight over P1. Exactly what we want. Good old racing. With no penalties. No other drivers in between them. It's just a classic 1 versus 1 battle for the race win and for the final spot on the podium. Kevin on his debut, wanting to beat the champion of the season. And meanwhile, the two drivers have been playing second fiddle to Mannesman, wanting to prove themselves worthy of the race win today. PS Gabi still 1.3 behind, not quite caught up. Meanwhile, Mannesman, yeah, the tire advantage is significant. Kevin on those 9-lap-old hards, he's gonna really struggle. But Mannesman, well, they're both very low in ERS. In fact, Sean Moole is the only one of these four really with a significant amount of ERS still in the car, as Tyler gets the second penalty of the race. Let's see, can Sean Moole have a go now? Not Sean Moole, Mannesman, sorry. Can Mannesman have a go now? Is he close enough? He's 5 cents behind. I think he's a bit too far behind on this lap. He's burning ERS, actually, he wants to go for it. DRS open as well, and he pulls alongside, and he does go past Kevin, up into P3, Mannesman onto the podium. So it's the three candidates we've seen up there all season: Menaceman, BSGABI and Sean Mull. The three main candidates who are once again, with 7 laps to go now, on the podium. Our very own Hambot Ver, we could say almost. And now we can put all of our focus on Tobias Gabi and Sean Mull. I think that it's safe to say Kevin, with those 10 low hard tires, will probably not be coming back at Menaceman. But can BSGABI find a way past Sean Mull? Can Sean Mull make those tires last? Can he defend for these final few laps of this race? We're in lap 20 of 27. We're coming towards the end. Yeah, Kevin indeed already dropping out of the ERS range. He is probably going to finish P4 in this race. Very strong position to be in on your debut. He's probably going to be happy with that, I would say. Of course, slightly disappointed not to get the podium after having the chance to do so. And we now head on the main straight. BSGABI is very close to Sean Mull. Can he get past him? Or will he have to wait for longer? Will he have to find a better opportunity at some other point in this race? He's burning ERS, he wants to go for the gap. BSGABI up the inside of Sean Mull. This will be the move. Yes, it will be. BSGABI takes the lead of the race. Well, Menaceman puts in the fast lead of the race as well. And Sean Mull had to concede the position. BSGABI takes the lead of the race. Yellow flags in Sector 1 for Sully once again. And he has to let these two pass probably to rejoin the track ahead of them, but now he's going to have to let them pass. He goes to the outside line here, allowing them to take the racing line. BSGABI and Sean Mull fly past him. Sean Mull didn't really use the ERS that he had. Interesting. So that allowed BSGABI to just go past him easily. Maybe Sean Mull is actually saving it to defend against Menaceman. Maybe he thinks his tires will not last anyway, so he might as well let BSGABI go and just focus on securing a P2. Yellow flags again. Who spun? Once again Sully. On the X of the hairpin, or maybe he just let people pass. I'm not sure if he spun. Might have just moved aside to allow the Kevin and Menaceman to go past. Sean Mull is now burning ERS, wants to stay in the ERS range to BSGABI. Maybe he get pulled along to keep his gap to Menaceman somewhat. I don't think he's gonna be able to attack him. The only way for Sean Mull to have won this race would have been, I think, to defend against BSGABI and not allow him to go past. Now that BSGABI has gotten past, I think it's over. But of course, with how old those tires are, I think Menaceman still has half a chance to catch up to the Williams, so it does make sense for him to try and stay close to BSGABI to pick up that DRS and yeah, just extend the gap to Menaceman as much as he can. 6 seconds in 5 laps. It sounds like a lot, but honestly I think it's possible. Although Menaceman is very, very low in ERS, so if he does catch up to him, it will be a tough ask to get alongside and get past the Williams driver. And he doesn't have all that much time to do it. He can't really save his ERS anymore. He has to. He won't have enough time to recharge the battery anymore. He's just gonna have to try and find some other way past Sean Mull in this race, who's actually sticking with BSGABI somewhat, even though his tires are double the age. Well, even more than double. BSGABI on 9 lap old tires, Sean Mull on 20 lap old tires. So. Yeah, even more than double the age of BSGABI's tires. He is still staying within the DRS range. I mean, barely. But he is staying within the DRS range. That is crucial. Menaceman is closing in, but not as quickly as I think he could if Sean Mull wasn't within the DRS range of BSGABI. So the longer he can keep himself in that DRS range, the less chance Menaceman has to steal a P2 here in the final few laps. Lap 23 out of 27, we're getting closer and closer to the end. And yeah, Sean Mull did have DRS for one more lap there, I think, but now he's 9/10 behind starting the lap, so probably the final time he had DRS. I don't think he's gonna get close to BSGABI once again on the main straight. We've now also got wasted, about to lap sync. Wasted actually has been closing the gap on the cars in front. He's now at 15 seconds. It was 30 seconds earlier. Meanwhile, Claudio still 15 seconds behind Tyler as well. Sully now, a 3-second time penalty for multiple. I think that's the second penalty of the race, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, second penalty for track limits, and the third penalty overall, as he also had a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, I think. Yeah, that makes sense, speeding in the pits. Tyler also on 6 seconds, but it won't cost many things with a 16-second gap behind to Claudio. So Tyler safely in P5. Sean Moore has now indeed dropped out of the ERS, went to BSGB, and he's also burned all of his ERS, so if Mannesman does catch up, he doesn't have much to defend against him. 5 seconds a gap, and BSGB now safely in P1. Can Mannesman still catch up to the Williams driver? Or will he run out of laps by the end? He's burning ERS despite the fact that he has almost none. He's really trying everything to catch up to Sean Moore in these final few laps. 4.7 seconds. He would need to gain about 1.5 seconds a lap here. And then also overtake Sean Moore in the final lap. Can he do it? I mean, if anyone can, it must be him. He has been amazing all season. And Mannesman will surely want to put one more cherry on top of what has been an amazing season for him and bring home 3 more points here at the end. I think BSGB is too far away. Wasted now in the pit lane. I assume for soft tires, trying to go for a fast lap attempt here right in the end. Yeah, for soft tires, fast lap at the moment. Probably Claudio, I guess, since he went to soft earlier. Where do I see this? There we go. No, actually Mannesman, 32.376 when he was on the fresh mediums. So that's enough time to beat for Wasted, who is currently on a 37.870, so he needs to gain half a second only, not that much time needed for Wasted. He has a lot of ERS in the car as well, which he can use to make up time. So I think Wasted will probably get the lap that he needs to get that 1 extra point here in Suzuka. Mannesman 3.8 seconds behind only. He is gaining quickly. He gained 7/10 on that lap, but not quickly enough. Not quickly enough, I don't think. Sully now in the pits as well, probably also for softs, trying to set a fast lap. This, he is lapped though, I think. So this could be... I don't know if he has enough time. He's now surfing the 5 seconds as well. 3.3 seconds to gap. Mannesman gaining a lot of time in that first sector in the S's. Wasted. He is still in his outlap, I think, so we're gonna stay on both of them anyway. There's not much going on in terms of on-track battling anyway. So we might as well see if he can beat the 32.376, if he can gain half a second on his previous best lap. So we're essentially back to doing qualifying laps now. It's come full circle today. Wasted coming on the final corner, opening up the DRS, opening up the activating DRS. It's yeah, activating. And down on T1. Has to lift a little bit on the first turn in, and now doesn't get quite as far on the inside through the second part of the corner as he wants to. Takes a lot of curb on the first part of the S's. Gets the car rotated nicely. Doesn't go quite as far on the inside as he could through that part, and now has to lift a lot on the final part of the S's. Let's see, is he up? Yes, he's already up by half a second, so already he's gained just in the first sector alone enough time, almost enough time to beat Mannesman's fast lap. But what about Sully? Sully is also on the soft, he can also have a go. On the final lap of this race, Sully will try and set the fastest lap. Wasted, of course, now burning the ERS to gain as much time as possible. Meanwhile, yellow flags for his teammate, for Tyler. This could put him under threat to Claudio. I'm not sure. I don't think it will actually. He's still far enough ahead. Wasted now, he's up by a full second, so yeah, Wasted definitely on his way to a new fast lap of the race. But then next lap we'll see Sully answering. Trying to beat Wasted's time. So, Wasted, what will the time to beat be? As he goes over the line, 1:31.587. As Menace Man and Sean Moole approach the final lap, fighting over P2, Biesgabi 3 seconds up the road, he is secured in P1. Menace Man is within DRS range, but he has absolutely nothing in terms of ERS. And Sean Moole doesn't have much more either, he's on 2%. Yellow flags for Sully, I think, yes! And Sully, he does still have a wing. Sean Moole is in the pits! Sean Moole has a puncture! On the final lap, approaching the final lap of the race, Sean Moole gets a puncture on the last corner. And loses out to Menace Man. And he will end up in P5 behind Tyler. What a shame! Oh! If that tire had hung for one more lap, you could have had an amazing last lap battle between Menace Man and Sean Moole, and now Sean Moole comes out in P5. Oh, what a massive shame. What a massive shame. That is really, really annoying for Sean Moole. I mean, at least he got the puncture before the pit lane, so you could still make a pit stop and put on a tire that yeah, he doesn't lose like a minute or so on. But yeah, Biesgabi now on his way to his second race of the season. He has a 5-second gap to Menace Man. He has been very impressive today and done a great job to make sure he can win the race. Gotten away early on those mediums, built a gap to Menace Man, got past Sean Moole, stayed out after the safety car. And a very well deserved victory for Biesgabi here in Japan. He's actually up by 6/10 on his previous best. Is he trying to go for fast lap day? But he's not going to be up by enough, right? I know what his previous best was, but he's not going to beat Wasted's time, I don't think. But yeah, across the final corner and across the line, Biesgabi is your race winner here to Suzuka, and the final race of Season 10. Menace Man, the Drivers' World Champion, celebrating here one more time. Finishes P2 in this race, with Kevin on his debut, ending up in P3. Very impressive stuff as well from him. And Tyler will lose the place to Sean Moole, who will still come home in P4. So at least he didn't lose all that much, lost what would have been a P2 or maybe a P3, and ends up in P4 with Tyler behind him in P5. Claudio in P6. Sully, I think, just had a spin, so he's not going to beat Wasted's lap time. So yeah, Claudio ending up in P6. And yeah, then it will just be Wasted and Sully to go, I think. Sink will not finish this race, since he's on AI mode. Sully's had another spin as well, so yeah, Claudio over the line P6. Wasted will end up in P7 after what, yeah, would have been a good chance for him to get a good result as well after qualifying. He looked very promising, but that one mistake that he made has really cost him, and he's ended up in P7. Sully actually now battling with Sink, so that's interesting. But I think Sully will come on top here. So yeah, Sully in P8. And the AI of Sink will end up in P9. Marcelio in P10. And Thog in P11. Having the DNF on the first lap. No, actually Sink got P8 on penalties. Oh, that's... Oh, Sully. The AI is set to 41. You can't be getting beaten by the AI. That's yeah. Sean Moole gets drive today. Despite the puncture on the last lap, the game still deems him to have had the best race. And there we go, Biesgabi for the second time this season on the first spot on the podium. And very well deserved as well. Great race from him tonight. Menace Man behind him in P2. And then Kevin, on his debut, up in P3. Very, very impressive stuff. Probably the best, one of the best results you could hope for on your debut. Especially given that Menace Man and Biesgabi were yeah, very strong today, and both had very good races. Sean Moole as well, with a great race performance, coming back from that poor qualifying. And very unfortunate to miss out on the podium in that way. And there we have your full race results. Biesgabi wins out of Menace Man and Kevin in P3. Sean Moole with the puncture on the last lap in P4. Tyler ending up in P5 with the penalty. Claudio P6, Wasted with the fast lap in P7. Sink actually on AI in P8, and Sully down in P9. And then Marcelio DNF'd and Thog on the first lap with a crash in P11. So yeah, that has been Season 10 of Division 2. It's been a very enjoyable season, and I am looking forward to commentating on Division 2 once again in a few months' time on F1 2023. Yeah, I hope you're looking forward to that as well. And until then, we still got Division 1 next this Saturday, the final race of the season. The title fight between myself and Kartmaster, 26-point gap at the moment, which is, of course, it means that Kartmaster has to win, get fast lap, while I have to score 0 points for Kartmaster to win. And yeah, then we'll have the 2020, the F1 2020 mini season on the old game, which I don't think will be streamed as well. I won't be doing it because I'm going to be racing myself. If anybody else wants to do it, of course, they are free to do so. But I expect anybody who has the game will want to race themselves, so yeah. Hope you enjoyed today's stream, and I hope to see you again in a few months' time for round 1 of Season 11 on F1 2023. Goodbye.